Welcome into the live college football betting report where we have Big Man on campus and myself. We'll be hitting the night slate games first, the 10 p.m. Eastern, the UNLVs, San Diego States, Nevadas of the world, and then we'll be hitting the 8 p.m. Easterns, the ABC game, the ESPN Fox Sports game, and also what's going on now, some betting opinions for this afternoon's games. Big Man on campus, how's your Saturday going so far?
Not particularly good. Not a great start for me here. But my premium plays are in play at this point. One's looking okay. The other one, pretty much a loser at halftime. Not really sure what they're doing at Texas Christian today. I got the over, and it was a terrible call. Just a ton of field goals, and I got to tell you, Drew, the Big 12 is a tough conference, really tough conference to cap. I mean, seems like every week, something weird happens. You saw it earlier with Oklahoma. Just a really tough conference to cap week to week.
Yeah, it seems like a volatile conference, absolutely. And guys, remember to chime in on the chat box. Tell us what you're watching, what you're betting, what you'd like to hear about. Vitalis, first up. What's up, buddy? Anyway, let's get right into the night slate, Big Man. We can talk about some of these night games, and we'll get into a little bit earlier games. But we'll just go from the bottom of the card up, if that's all right with you. 365, 366, San Diego State, UNLV, the Aztecs making the short trip to Las Vegas. Big Man, when I look at this game, UNLV's betting profile, losing that first game to the FCS opponent, and then I believe they've won 3 straight games ATS. So, we seem to see that every single year, a team losing a game they shouldn't right off the bat and then going on a little ATS run. But are you looking to lay it with the Aztecs minus 9.5, 56.5 the total?
Yeah, keep in mind the wins are against Idaho and San Jose State, which are not great wins. But I agree with you. You always see a team like this kind of be undervalued all year. This is a really interesting capping scenario. You have a team at San Diego State who has really dominated this conference for a number of years against a UNLV team that is a similar profile to them. They like to run the football, they like to keep the ball on the ground, and they do have an emotional edge in this game. It's a tough way to cap because, Drew, a lot of the time when you cap these certain situations, I want to look towards military academies, teams like that. I need to scout a little bit more what UNLV has as far as how many freshmen play a key role. Sometimes you can get kids that are not prepared or something like that. This is an interesting capping scenario, but Tony Sanchez is a good coach. For me, Drew, I feel like if I'm going to look UNLV here, I'd almost just take them to win the game. I think if they're going to hang around, it's going to be one of those magical wins. But it's really hard to bet against San Diego State. As the weeks went on, I just have gotten to the point where I just really don't want to bet against the Aztecs. So for me, it's going to be a pass. I'll root for UNLV. Hopefully they have a nice showing here. It's been a tough week in Vegas, and hopefully they can have a good performance here. But for me, as the weeks went on, it's just looked like more of a pass.
Yeah, I'm with you. You bring up the tough week in Vegas in the military academy thing. I know you're big on that, and it's interesting to see if UNLV will kind of embrace that and really play well against arguably the best team in the conference. So it will be an interesting one on the night slate. We also got 375, 376, Cal Washington Pac-12 matchup here. Looks like 52 the total, some under money from 56.5 the opener. Washington also taking money, open 26 up to 28.5. Are you laying it with the Huskies?
No, not particularly. If I was going to play this one, I'd probably grab the underdog in this game, but I'm actually looking more along the lines of an under in this game. I think this game could be a little bit of a slobber knocker. Washington's a team that has just gotten better and better defensively week after week, and they're really looking like that defense that we saw last year. They've really kind of came to play, and they really haven't missed any of the people they've lost last year. Cal's also another team that's improved significantly on the defensive end. I think this is an interesting total because I think a lot of people will kind of assume over just because it's a Pac-12 game and blah, 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 blah. But I got a feeling we see some punts in this game early on. I got to tell you, Drew, I'm having a tough day, so I'm kind of jaded right now with some of my plays. But I think you have 2 improved defenses here. Cal's definitely wanted to insert a little bit more of a running offense. I could see Jake Browning kind of handing it off a ton as well. I'm kind of leaning under 52. I could see Cal really struggling to score in this game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, can Cal even score? Bringing up the Washington Huskies defense, they've hit two straight unders against Colorado and Oregon State. So I think I'm with you. I think Cal's going to have a tough
And
time moving the ball in this game.
Colorado's a similar team in a way to Cal. You don't have a team in Washington, by the way, also is one of the slowest tempo teams in the country. I mean, other than the military schools and several others, they're among the slowest. So for me, I'm definitely leaning towards an under in this game. I could see this one, maybe 34, 17. It might just hang under. That's the way I'd kind of look at this game.
Okay. Well, on to 413, 414, Hawaii, Nevada. I got an opinion in this one. I just don't like the number, big man. I mean, we got Hawaii -4.5 heading on the road to Reno, taking on Nevada, who's pretty much been a dumpster fire all year long. 62.5 at Bet365 right now. Are you involved in this one?
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about Nevada, or not about Nevada, Hawaii, I've noticed that against lesser opponents, they're usually very effective. Against good opponents, they struggle. Last year against some of the big teams they played, and even this year, Colorado State and UCLA, they really struggled against. But Nevada is dreadful. Being at home means absolutely nothing here. Nevada is really poor. I think you're getting a pretty decent number here on Hawaii. I think they're a talented football team. Defensively, are they that good? No, but I'm not really confident that Hawaii can move or Nevada can move the football. I think Nevada is among the worst, bottom 10 in football. I would go with Hawaii. I just think they kind of seize this opportunity, go on the road, and get a pretty solid victory against a poor football team.
Yeah, I like Hawaii too. It's just a matter of I'd like to get them under 3, especially on the road, big man. That 4.5 doesn't scare you.
No, I think they win by double digits, honestly. But Nevada is bad. I mean, Drew, they've been absolutely embarrassing. I mean, you almost feel bad for their. I mean, they've had Colin Kaepernick and some decent teams out there, but I mean, you're losing to Fresno by 20. You lost to Idaho State, for God's sakes. I don't think being at home means much of anything here. And like I said, Drew, if you look at Hawaii, they've really played well against lesser teams. That's kind of on. They kind of can assert their dominance against lesser teams for sure. They're not a good team, but against teams like Nevada, I'd be looking to back them.
Yeah, I can see that profile. I'm thinking about that Colorado State game, which isn't a lesser team, to your point. But I mean, they put up 50 points. UCLA put up over 50 points. Massachusetts even put up 35. So I don't know. I could see Nevada being able to move the ball.
Yeah, I'm not confident they can. I don't think they have many weapons. Their 4 receivers are freshmen. I just think they're poor.
All right. No. We're both in agreement as far as Hawaii being the right side. Just a matter of if I'll get there. But
yeah,
355, 356, Stanford, Utah. Last game on the night slate. It's a pretty good 4-pack here for nightcaps. Looks like Utah's taking big money down to -3 for Stanford. I mean, Salt Lake's a tough place to play, but this is an interesting move here for me, big man. How are you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I kind of like the under in this game, 52, 51.5, 51.5. I get 52 at Pinnacle. You look at the things that Stanford do well, running the football. Utah is a really good run defense. I think this is a low-scoring, kind of battle in Utah. Utah's, like you said, a tough place to play, and a lot of the time, the team that does the intangibles in this game is going to win. Punting and special teams and things like that. Bryce Love's a great player, but I think Utah's a team that could really give him some fits. You saw today with Penn State. They were able to get the job done. Saquon Barkley didn't have much of a game, not a great game by his standards, but they were able to get it done. Could Stanford do that? If Bryce Love can't play well, are they able to go and win a game on the road in a tough atmosphere? I'm a big Whittingham fan. I'm also a big David Shaw fan. So for me, this is a tough one, but I kind of like the under in this game. I think it's a pretty low-scoring football game, 24-17 or something like that, 21-20. I could see it low, definitely 52.5. 52, I'll take the under.
I like the Utes. Jumped on them yesterday, I believe, and I just like this profile of Stanford. Beating UCLA pretty good, coming back, beating Arizona State, in kind of getting a little roll here. The market's liking them. And then coming into the front 7 or probably the front 8 for Utah tonight. And it's just a whole different animal from what UCLA or Arizona State has played. So
I also say this, and I think this is something that really won't get talked about because it's Utah football and there's so many teams that kind of outshine them. But Darren Carrington makes this team a whole lot different on offense. He gives them a deep threat. He gives them a high-level receiver threat. Tyler Huntley's out, but Troy Williams is a very good backup, a guy that can still really handle that offense. If I had to play it, I would agree with you. I would go Utah also, but I think under is just a little bit better play.
Okay, and Huntley's confirmed out?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Williams is good. That came down to the end.
It was a quarterback battle. I mean, just one. He might have did one extra thing. And you know what you like about Williams is he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run around if it gets tough. But I am seeing game time decision. But game time decisions are usually not good at any rate.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, that's it for the night slate. Do you have anything on Arizona, Colorado?
Not particularly. Arizona's off a bye on the road. I will say this, and I'll continue to make this clear. Steven Montez, the quarterback for Colorado, is one of the stupidest quarterbacks in the country. He's just not a very smart, savvy guy. He's young. I almost want to lean Arizona. Colorado just doesn't do the little things. Drew, I also am kind of liking, I guess if this is considered a late night game, it's actually 8 o'clock, but it's late for instance. I mentioned UTEP to you, on we did the Degenerate special. I kind of like UTEP in this spot. You're kind of jumping into the cauldron here with a bad football team, but Western Kentucky's really had some trouble. I mean, they've not looked like the typical Hilltopper team going on the road here to a team that's fired their coach. Maybe they inject a little life into them there. I kind of want to – I like the Miners here, I'll be honest.
I don't disagree with you. I think Western Kentucky is not a team I want to be betting on. Definitely not betting on laying 17. And UTEP, they did look decent against Army. I mean, in my opinion, Army wasn't 24 points better than UTEP. So I don't think that Western Kentucky is 3 touchdowns better. I mean, at this number, I'm not involved, but I'm not running to bet Western Kentucky. I agree.
A similar profile team, UTEP, Ball State. I mean, Ball State really gave this team a game without Riley Neal and James Gilbert. I mean, that's a similar profile team. At least you have a fully healthy team here in UTEP. I feel like they hang around here in this game. They're not going to win, but it'll get interesting. Hang around.
I was going to say, I mean, Ball State has a lot better quarterback, but Riley Neal was out that game. Who is their backup quarterback? Is he any good?
Ball State? No, I don't believe so, no. And their running back, their best player, was out also. So, I mean, Greenlee's a pretty good quarterback. I think he's better than Metz. I would take him over Metz any day of the week. So, I think they inject a little life into this team.
I don't think UTEP's quarterbacks are very good at all. I mean, that guy Metz, he sucks, but –
well, Greenlee's good though. Greenlee's way better than him, and they have a pretty good running back. So I feel like they'll kind of hang on him, try to drain the clock a little bit. That would kind of be my thought process.
What about UCF Cincy? You laying it with the Golden Knights?
Yeah, I got nothing on that game. Tough game. I'm not really sure that I'm ready to lay. I think we're overreacting a little bit to Central Florida. I've said that to you guys. They've looked good, but I'm not really ready to lay 17 with them. They should get the job done, but it's a little too high for me.
All right. Well, where do you want to go from here, big man?
Maybe just go. See if anyone has any questions. See what their thoughts are there. Stanford at -3. I'm not sure that I would agree with you, perfect rotation. Utah's a really good run defense. They're very stout, a lot of Samoans, Tongans. They're big, bruising kids. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just kind of feel different in that one. Nevada's brutal. Take Hawaii, says Ron Fig. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Drew, how about Iowa State getting the job done today? What an amazing win for that. And I just do have to discuss how pathetic that is if you're Oklahoma. I mean, they had a third-string senior quarterback in on the road, and you lose outright as 31-point underdogs. That's absolutely deplorable. Iowa State is bad, and you lose outright by 7? Oklahoma. I mean, I don't know. Going forward, I'm not betting the Big 12. It's just impossible. But that is pathetic. Really pathetic.
At home, 30-point favorites.
And they lose by 7. I'm not sure exactly, but there probably was on 5 dimes. They usually have those money lines for anything. I mean, it was probably heavy. Probably 3,000, 4,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw someone bet it at I think maybe MGM Grand for $50. He won like 2,000. So you do the math.
I'm looking it up right. Yeah, it looks like plus 4,500.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Wish
Good
I would
for
have
him.
bet it. Someone's asking, saying they think SMU wins outright tonight. I can't disagree. Houston's looked poor. They haven't had much going offensively, which is surprising. I thought they would with Applewhite and Kyle Allen there. Ed Oliver's a game time decision. If Ed Oliver doesn't play, I would probably be interested in that. He's their best defensive player. He's a maniac on the defensive line. I don't disagree with you there. 7 points looks pretty good.
Hey, Delta brings up a point on Iowa State. I love this shit. Like, Iowa State player played both defense and offense today. That's pretty cool. I like that
Yeah,
stuff.
Joel Lanning's a really good player. He played quarterback, I mean, at one point. He played quarterback today. He's a linebacker. I mean, just he kind of fumble recovery. That's pretty impressive. It really is. I thought this would be a really easy win for Oklahoma. I didn't think. I mean, when you see a senior quarterback as a third stringer, I mean, you kind of think, well, he can't be too good, you'd imagine. But I was dead wrong. Great job by the Cyclones there.
Anything else surprise you? What about Tulane Tulsa? All these points.
Yeah, I mean, Sharps continue to bet under in Tulsa games, which makes no sense. Yeah, I don't. That didn't surprise me at all. I mean, Tulsa's dreadful defensively, one of the worst in the country. A couple other things. I thought. I wasn't surprised the Virginia won. I mean, that looked like a stone cold Virginia line. Big win for the Cavs there at home. Duke struggling a little bit after that nice start. I was surprised that. I mean, I thought Kansas kind of looked like they turned a little corner a little bit. I thought this would have been a good spot for them to at home, getting over 2 touchdowns to hang in the game to Texas Tech. They made a bit of a comeback and then just got punted in the fourth quarter. Gave up 65 points in that game. Over bettors were happy. A game that I was Peter Loshek and I both liked Kansas there. We weren't on the money there. Ole Miss covered, which I think they pushed. And one other thing, Drew. Go ahead.
That's a great example of getting the best of the number, because it landed right around there. It was bouncing around 21 all week.
Yeah, you're right. And one other one that was impressive as well. Georgia, I mean, continues to play very well. That's huge. Scoring 45 points against Vandy. They just keep trudging along, and Clemson got backdoored. That was another play I had at 12 o'clock, Drew. I had minus 21, and Clemson gives up a touchdown with like 2 minutes to go. So not a good – I don't believe I hit a play in the 12 o'clock hour. Definitely my worst week of the season. But luckily, my premium plays are in play right now, and hopefully those get the job done. Those are the ones that and the Bet Buffet plays, Drew, are still untouched. We actually want to know with those. So hopefully the Bet Buffet can look good here.
So you want to know. So you haven't had a losing week yet in Bet Buffet.
I have not. You're right. I had Memphis last night. Nice easy winner there. Big cover for Eastern Michigan. Not sure they were on my radar today. I'm not sure if that's a big cover for them. I don't think they care much about covering, but I guess. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night, Drew. I'm interested in the Washington State-Oregon game. That's a game I'm excited about because you have Oregon with some injury concerns, but they're hosting. Washington State hasn't been on the road yet this year. I'll be interested to see how they come out after that win against USC. Mike Leach, a great coach, but this is really all about preparation. I'll be interested to see how they come out in that game.
Big man, we got Daniel saying a lot of low-scoring games today. Yeah, there has been. I guess there's been a couple high-scoring ones, but I'd say the majority have probably landed under. I haven't done actually added all the games up yet. But big man, I spent my Saturday so far pretty much in the MAC and in the Sun Belt. And I'll tell you, Central Michigan surprised me with that win over Ohio. Also,
yeah, that's quickly if I can comment on that. Peter
Yeah,
Loshek and I were talking about that one. Ohio is a really inconsistent football team. I mean, they look good and they play down to opponents. I mean, that's another concern with Ohio. The MAC really looks like Toledo's conference. I mean, honestly, really. I mean, Miami of Ohio struggled. Ohio struggled. There's a lot of teams that have struggled in that conference, but Toledo just keeps kind of getting the job done. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, you're right. Central Michigan, a nice game from Shane Mars.
yeah. Also, Buffalo, Western Michigan. That's a pretty good game. It's at halftime right now. Buffalo hanging in there with their backup quarterback.
Yeah, it's homecoming up at Buffalo today. So, a team like them, Western Michigan crushed them last year. If you remember, Drew, that game was college game day because Western Michigan was undefeated. And I remember they hosted the game and it was like a barren wasteland. There weren't anyone there and everything. And yeah, they're hanging tough. I do see Idaho's on the board. UL Lafayette's the worst defense in the country statistically. Over looked pretty low in that game. We'll see how that one goes. But Idaho just punched one in. Minnesota, nice game today for the Golden Gophers. They're up by 8 at halftime in Purdue. That's a nice one. And Navy, Drew, the old Naval Academy, they don't ever let you down, do they? They're looking good. And one of my bet buffet plays, USC, is looking good as well. They're up big at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter.
Big man, one team I wanted to ask you about, you brought up a spark with the Bowling Green offense. And I was really watching this one close because I'm on Miami of Ohio. And to this point, it's not the right side. So what did you see in Bowling Green?
It's just when you have a team when nothing's going right, sometimes a spark is important, like a new coach or just something to get excited about. You see a guy that's competing and playing well. And I believe Miami, Ohio's quarterback went out in that game, if I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong. But Bowling Green, they don't have anything to play for, but they're always going to play hard. At the end of the day, this is why they play football. To play football. It's very simple. They don't win anything, but when you get a kind of a shot in the arm of the new quarterback and that kind of thing, we also have to realize that Miami of Ohio is still Miami of Ohio. Should they be a good football team in the MAC? Yeah, but it's still the MAC. I can't really say. Again, they didn't look good last week, Bowling Green, so it's really a week-to-week thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, just watching them against Miami of Ohio, their quarterback, James Morgan, he's throwing the ball all around. They're scoring touchdowns. I'm like, damn, where's this bowling
yeah, last week, and I know it's Notre Dame, but Notre Dame really kind of took it to Miami's defense. Miami of Ohio's defense is really struggling. I'll tell you what, Drew, I have New Mexico State money line plus 410, and I'm hanging tough here with this team. This would be a big win if I could get it to take care of some of my earlier losses. And I have Colorado State small play on them as well here. So I'm hoping we can keep it going here.
Dude, I'll tell you about that New Mexico State game. I had that one circled, like look to bet on New Mexico State. And when this number came out, it was like the market was on it. I was looking for like a 20. And sure enough, it comes out at 10 or whatnot, it being in Boone. But good call there. New Mexico State's looking good, man.
Their offense has really improved. I think, but back to Iowa State quickly. Drew, you would agree that's to be one of the biggest upsets I've seen in some time. I mean, as far as the particulars of the actual upset, I mean, I think that's absolutely amazing that they beat them. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Oklahoma's a top 4 candidate. I mean, that's huge, amazing.
Yeah, it's up there with what the Stanford of 2007 was that beating USC.
I got to be honest. I think it's one of the biggest I've ever seen, possibly. We need to look at the particulars of the game. I mean, they were 31-point underdog with their third-string quarterback on the road in Norman against a top 4 candidate team with the Heisman Trophy candidate. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Amazing.
You're right. And a good point here is Lincoln Riley, a rookie coach, with a bye week, he just got outcoached by Campbell.
He definitely did. And especially off of the last game Iowa State played. I mean, they played so poor against Texas. And their quarterback leaves the team. I mean, it's just amazing circumstances to go in and do that. Just amazing.
Well, big man, we're in 30 minutes now, so we got to start the I guess the process of ending it at some point. But anything else any other topics you want to bring up?
No, it'll be interesting to see how the night games go. I have a play later tonight, and I got some games I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, it should be a fun night. Got NFL tomorrow, and we'll let the we'll let the boys take control tomorrow. I gotta I gotta stop with videos. I've been doing videos all week. I did a video earlier for soccer, so I'll take a night here to just watch the games here, and you know, I gotta go see my parents or something. I gotta go get out of here for a little bit. But yeah. So Drew, I believe the hurricane's passed. If I'm right, correct? It looks nice there.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. But unfortunately, I'll be in front of 3 screens all day and all night long, and then maybe tomorrow I'll get out and about. So
Beautiful, very good.
I'm in the same boat as you. Hey, are you going to do that betcast thing tomorrow night?
Yes, we are doing the betcast tomorrow night. We'll have Chiefs Texans at game time. We have an interesting schedule tomorrow. We have Donnie Rightside and Gabe Morency at noon doing the NFL show. They're also on at halftime of the 1 o'clock games. Then Donnie and I will come on at 7:30 to wrap up the day and get you ready for the night game. And then Gabe and I will be on live during the game. So it's fun. We have a good time with it.
Yeah, that betcast thing, I enjoyed that, watching the game and listening to you guys. When you brought up when he brought up the guy that a lot of people thought that fired him, and you were like, well, did he? It was just hilarious.
You thought that was funny, yeah. What was that guy's name? I can't remember. An Italian guy, I believe. I forget his name, but yeah, it's fun. And I'll tell you what, we give out winners on there. We gave out we had Seattle last week. We had the over. It's fun. We had a good time. Guys, take it easy on Miami. They're going to be all right. They're only down 3. They're going to be fine. Yeah, be positive. Florida State doesn't have much of an offense either. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, Drew, thanks again. Always fun doing a little update show here. Everyone enjoy the games tonight. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We'll be back next Saturday, I guess around 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. Eastern. And thanks for tuning in. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the content. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.